In previous lecture, we discussed about the revolution carried out by the great freedom fighter, that is Vasudev Balwant Phadke. Now, we have to analyze here what is the outcome of this revolutionary work. So first, the theory that was put forward by some Britishers, that is on basis of Macaulay's education system, that in that lecture also we discussed, English educated, then having government job and reading English newspaper. A person must be loyal to British government, or rather Indian government. That means British rule over India at that time. So that was basic theory. And Vasudev Balwant Phadke was fulfilling all these three criteria. He was aware of English education was there with him, he was having government job, and he was having government job also. But after realizing all the things, he left the job and rebelled against British government. So there was something that was cracking out their theory. And so new theory was put forward, that we have to get safety valve for the government. And like that, the first outcome of this armed revolution, that was establishment of Indian National Congress. The first session was established, first session was there at Mumbai. Actually, it was proposed at Pune, but due to that plague, the center changes from Pune to Mumbai. No doubt, it was a small thing at that time. Hardly 71, 72 delegates were there to attend that Congress session. But it is important that prior to that, Pan-India level organization was not established. This is establishment of Pan-India level organization. Because prior to that, various organizations such as Sarvajanik Sabha, Madras Native Association, National Conference, and like that various organizations were there, that is to make voice against British government, or I should not say against British government, but to speak Indian voice, what we want. And then there was an important thing, that establishment of this type of Indian National Congress. Obviously, the Congress was established by a retired ICS officer, Alan Hume. The first session was there in 1885, somewhere in December month in Mumbai, set Tejpal Sanskrit Pathshala. And then onwards, regularly for consecutive 6 years, these sessions were there. Initially the Congress, or rather I should say, at that time they were not calling this as Congress. At that time it was called as Rashtriya Sabha. So slowly it started growing, but not came to the required achievement, because they were having trust in the Britishers completely. But they were demanding something at that time, that under British Empire only we want more rights. Say for example, that ICS examination should be conducted in India. Why to go to England for that ICS examinations? And like that, variety of things were demanded. In defense services, Indians were not promoted beyond brigadier level. So we want higher positions in defense services. And like that, various demands were there from this National Congress, or that is called as Rashtriya Sabha. However, at particular point, Alan Hume said, now it is time to dissolve Congress. We will dissolve Congress. I will go to London now, and from that I am now able to understand what are the demands of Indians, and I will continue working over there. After this move, Indians decided not to dissolve this organization and let us bear all the expenses and we can work alone. And like that, first thing, that Indian National Congress was handed over from Hume to other delegates. Now Britishers intentionally started criticizing Congress people. Why? for the thing that once it is criticized, it can grow. Like that, some theory was there, and they started criticizing. Somebody says, Indian National Congress is microscopic minority. It represents microscopic minority of Indian. And like that, things were there. But from 1885 to 1905, there was a era in Congress we can call now it. At that time it was not called, but now it can be called as moderate era. We were asking Britishers to do this and that. We were regularly giving our demands. Britishers were saying, yes, very nice demands are there, we will think over it. So they were not ready to accept nor deny. They were saying that, okay, we are going to think over it. Like that, positions were there from Britishers at that time. Parallelly, armed revolutionary work started because they realized that Congress is not getting out the desired thing. By this way, if you are working, we will never achieve freedom. Now, there was issue of clay in Pune. And then the commissioner was carrying out lot of injustice, and we can say various problems were there. So, I'm not going to discuss this part right now in detail. In other lecture, we are going to discuss in detail. But the Rand was assassinated. Then the assassinators, we are calling them as the armed revolutionaries, that is Savarkar brothers. They were hanged out by Britishers. And then, what is the most important thing of armed revolutionary activity? That if one armed revolutionary is going to get martyred, the other get inspiration from that. And the inspired person was Vinayak Damodar Savarkar. So, what is the outcome we can say? That is, first thing that because of Vasudeva Balwanta Phadke, what revolution carried out, there was establishment of Congress, Indian voice reached till England, all these things were there. But now, Britishers were again, we can say again and again doses are required. So like that Savarkar brothers given one dose. But because of that, now Vinayak Damodar Savarkar, at early young age, he decided to carry out his armed revolution. If you are looking more towards Savarkar's early life, you will realize he was extraordinary brilliant man, intelligent man. He was able to realize many things very early. But I am not going to discuss in detail here to get knowledge. You can read out biography of Vinayak Damodar Savarkar, now we call as Swatantra Veer Savarkar, or in short, Veer Savarkar. He was having elder brother as Ganesh Damodar Savarkar. Ganesh Damodar Savarkar was basically interested in yoga. He was a practicer of yoga. But because of younger brother, he also decided to join armed revolutionary activity. Now, initially, around early childhood only, these Savarkar brothers started out gym in their home. In their house only they started gym. Why? Because we had to carry out armed revolution, and that's why our body must be very good. Then they were in contact with Lokamanya Tilak. How that networking was carried out at that time, I don't know. Because at that time no phones were there. If at all some telephones were there, we had to get it connected through post office. That means obviously to the government only we are going to connect. So how the messages were given from one point to another. But some organization was set up that is called as Mitra Mela. That means group of friends. Now initially they were having smaller targets. That is in Nashik only. He was basically from Nashik in Maharashtra. So initially they were having some target. For example, we have to speak loudly Vande Mataram. Keep in mind. Why we love these Vande Mataram words? The thing is that during British rule, there were punishments just for speaking Vande Mataram in public. But these people carried out these activities. They were opposed by a person, obviously, that is collector of Nashik, at that time named as Jackson. There was actually, we can say, a cold war was going on between Jackson and his members of Mitra Mela. All these college going students, educated students were there, they were taking education at that time. Somebody was 14 years, 15 years. I should not say, actually English is wrong language. He was 14 years old. How we can say 14 years old? We have to say 14 years young. So that is the thing. Anyway, so this type of organization was set up. Then Savarkar was there at Pune, at Ferguson College. It was era of 1901, where Congress was at the, what we can say, towards the side of splitting out. Because in Congress, Lokamanya Tilak was pioneer of extremist group. Whereas many people like Firozh Shah Mehta, then Gopal Krishna Gokhale, Dadabhai Nauroji, all these people were towards moderate side. And Lokamanya Tilak was saying that we want extremism. Lokamanya Tilak was a fantastic personality in Indian freedom struggle. He was acting something like moderate, sometime like extremist, and on hidden way, he was supporting out armed revolutionists also. He was saying, my aim is to get freedom. What the way we are going to carry out is not important for me. If just by pricing out Britishers, they are giving us freedom, I am ready to do that. And if by killing out Britishers, they are going to give us freedom, then also we are ready for that. Like that, thoughts were there of Lokamanya Tilak. Again, history is there why he is called as Lokamanya. Many people are not aware. Some people are considering that, okay, this degree was given to him or title was given to him. The thing is that in old days, when public speaking is there, person was not called by name directly. Means suppose the speech is there and now Bal Gangadhar Tilak will express his thoughts. So no, this is the not way. At that time in Maharashtra, in a Marathi language, we were using word Rajamanya Rajashri. So how we are going to express? Now Rajamanya Rajashri, Bal Gangadhar Tilak will express his opinion. Now Tilak was having charge of sedition. In Sanskrit, we call it as Rajadroha. So it was charge of sedition. How we can say Rajamanya Rajashri? Because king himself, that means British government themselves, they were charging out the charge of sedition over Tilak, and how we can call him as Rajamanya? Then somebody said, all right, he is not Rajamanya, but publicly admired. And so they said, let us introduce him as Lokamanya. And henceforth he was introduced as Lokamanya. And then that title was stick to him. So Lokamanya Tilak was there. He made a concept that this year the president of Congress session will be decided by extremists only. Whereas moderate accepted the challenge. They say we are going to decide the president of Congress session. And then Tilak suggested name of Dadabhai Nauroji. Dadabhai Nauroji is a moderate person. He suggested name of moderate person only as a president, and then moderate were not able to oppose him, and moderates accepted, and this way first thing was achieved, that Dadabhai Nauroji become chairperson or president of that Congress session. Immediately he declared that we want to fight against British government. So something like that president was Dadabhai Nauroji, but he was speaking words of Lokamanya Tilak, that means extremism. He said, for last 20 years we were moderate, but we are getting nothing. So we have to move towards extremism. Come on, let us carry out movement. Only thing we have to do to achieve our title, success, that is to enter into movement. We have to do non-stop movements. And then he given a fourfold path that is called a Chatusutri. So first part, Swarajya. That is our target. We have to get freedom. For that purpose, we have to use Swadeshi. Make in India. Just correlating out. You can check out. Just there was issue in Hormuz. We got less supply of gas and petrol and everything because we are depending upon somebody else. If we were independent, or then this type of thing were not required. That is the issue. At that time, due to British policies, keep in mind, from 1818 onwards, whatever the British policies were there, they made India as dependent country on Europe. Alright, prior to that, finished goods that were taken from India to Europe. But then onwards, finished good from Europe was taken to India. This is the change during British rule. And Britishers, or rather I should use the word Europeans, were coming to India to earn wealth. They were carrying out a lot of, say for example, in Indian classical music, particularly North Indian classical music, there is tremendous place for harmonium. Harmoniums, it is introduced or made by Germany at that time. And these German-made harmoniums were taken to India. So it is not necessary that everything was taken from England only. But like that, Western goods that was entering in India. And slowly we were dependent. This is because of political situation. Say, a person is taking out goods from Europe, going to Cape of Good Hope, that is in South Africa, and then turning around again towards Northeast and coming to India. See the cost of production plus cost of traveling. How Indian goods can be cheaper than European goods. And for that purpose, they started increasing duties over Indian goods. As a result, Indian goods become costly and foreign goods become cheaper. And this way, Britishers earned tremendous wealth. Again, Britishers appointed their own servants in India. For example, army. 10% European army was involved in India. So whatever strength of army that was having topmost situations by 10% European people. Indian soldier at time of 1857, Indian soldier was having very high salary at that time, and therefore many common people were having dream to join Indian army, that means British army at that time, because they were highly paid. None other king in India was paying like that Britishers were paying. They were paying 7 rupees a month at that time. See the value of rupaya, that was very high at that time. But however, they were paying 7 rupees a month, and we were loyal to Britishers just for they are paying us 7 rupees per month. But then we realized, on the same position, suppose British person is having job, then British person was having payment around 22 rupees for same position. Why? He is staying away from their home. From Europe he is coming to India. So some allowance is there, this allowance and that allowance, like that various things. So if 7 rupees per month is very high cost, we can sell our faith to Britishers. Then British soldier was getting 22 rupees, that is 3 times more than Indian soldier. So, obviously, when person is joining army, he should not pay anything for food, clothes or anything. All expenses are borrowed by government. This way, Indian soldiers, means whatever the army, that was paid by Indian government only. Wealth was taken to Europe. ICS officers coming from England to India. We are very, very happy. An English person is there. Say for example, Crawford. You are aware in Mumbai there was a market. Now we changed the name, but initial name was Crawford Market. Crawford, actually very active person. For example, he came to Mumbai and he learned Marathi language prior to coming up, because at that time at ICS exam, it was mandatory for them that one language is English, other any Indian regional language. So he was taken Marathi as Indian language, so he was there in India, he was there in Mumbai. And what was the peculiarity of this Crawford? He was able to speak various dialects of Marathi, not only plain Marathi, various dialects of Marathi he was able to speak. And we are happy, yeah. Jackson, fantastic person. What is common thing between England and India, rather Maharashtra? In England, they were having fond of drama. And in Maharashtra also people are fond of drama. Drama is common thing. Jackson was fond of Marathi drama at that time. We were happy with him. Yeah, this is the thing. But what wealth was taken by Jackson to England? Like that carry out, you'll get tremendous wealth was taken by this way from Britishers from India to Europe. They were selling out their goods in India. All factories in England, they were running because of India. And like that, tremendous wealth was going to England. That's why English people were ruling. But in that era, we were so stupid that we were not able to understand why Britishers are ruling over India. Many people were saying, yes, they were sent by God because we were not capable of ruling. Everywhere disorder was there. And then God decided to make very orderly state, and for that purpose God sent Britishers over us. It is very good thing that with help of Britishers we are going to rectify our society and all these things. Various social reformers particularly worked during the period of 1800 to 1900. In these 100 years, they were maximum focus on their own society. Britishers were directing many of them that okay, these are the problems. Yeah, problems were there obviously. I am not saying that India was very good in society. Problems were there, but the problems were there in England also. Just find out when women in England got voting right. Just check out on your mobile that when English women got voting right in England. They are teaching us in 17th century and 18th century England and India. What is the difference? In India, women were not having any equal situation and all that. And in England, we were having equality status. No. In England, there was no equality status to women. Whatever you are paying property tax. However, if you are a woman, you are not having voting right. In 1918 or 1919, somewhere they got voting right in England. And they are teaching us that, okay, in India, tremendous inequality was there. Yeah, it was there in India, but it was there in England also at that time. Same thing about this thing, what we can say, the practice of sati. In India, it was worst part at that time, that is practice of sati. In England, it was taking a different frame. Somebody was declaring that particular woman is witch, and then she was burnt. So like that, things were there. Everywhere in world these things were there. In India, a tremendous problem was, and today also many places it is there, that is called as problem of so-called untouchability. But find out what happened in slavery side. Go to America, USA, how Africans were taken as slave to America. What is the theory? In East India Company was earning tremendous money by selling out these, what we can say, slaves from Africa. In human nature, find out there in English thing. Anyway, but tremendous wealth was accumulated by Britishers from India, legally, illegally, everywhere. Now Dadabhai Nauroji pointed out this thing. He put forward a concept that is called as drain theory of wealth. Justice Ranade was also there with him. However, the theory says that in Indian history, if you are aware, a biggest sack that is in the name of Muhammad Ghaznavi. He sacked out Somnath temple in Gujarat. That is considered as the biggest loot of India at that time. Dadabhai Nauroji showed calculative this way that what Muhammad Ghaznavi taken out wealth from India to Afghanistan at that time, multiple of that wealth Britishers are taking from India to Europe. This is called as drain theory of wealth. And then with help of this, Dadabhai Nauroji proposed second concept, that is concept of Swadeshi. So fourfold path. First path, Swaraj. To achieve that, we have to use Swadeshi. But how to use Swadeshi? I will ask you, okay, from henceforth, we should not use anything that is made outside India. We have to use only Indian things. I will appeal to you. But right now, I am recording this from electronic device that is not made in India. What softwares we are using, many softwares are not made in India. The thing is that we don't have alternative. Just find out how many cell phones are made in India. I am saying word made in India. I don't want assembled in India. You can check out various cell phones are there. They are assembled in India. Made in India cell phone. You have to find out. At that time also same situation was there. Suppose I am getting this type of cloth, a fantastic, fine, smooth, that is from England, because it was machine made. In India, we were not rich to purchase a machine at that time. In India, what we can say? We have to use that charkha to make the fiber, which is obviously not fine. And with help of that, we have to make, by using handloom only, we have to prepare some cloth. But Dadabhai Nauroji said, yes, you have to use this Indian thing. For nations, if you are using Indian things, then obviously Britishers will get less revenue. As their revenue will decrease, slowly they will say that, okay, there is no point in ruling over India, and they will left. To generate anger with British rule, or rather foreign objects, Dadabhai Nauroji said, we have to carry out third important thing, that is boycott. Boycott foreign goods. That was third thing. And fourth important thing. This fourth thing I purposefully kept at end. This is the most important thing. Many speakers, they are using word in their speech, that last but not least. I should say last, but the important thing, that is the education. That is national education. Why? Because Britishers were giving education which is in favor of Britishers. So you can check out. When early childhood is there, in early childhood, almost all students, they believe more in the teacher rather than their mother and father at home. They say, no, teacher told this to do. Like that approach is there. This is importance of education. Your early concepts are getting fortified during this portion only. And that's why it's very, very essential to focus on the education. So Dadabhai Nauroji said we have to make national education essential. So like that he given fourfold path. I am revising fourfold path. Swadeshi, Swarajya, freedom, that is Swadeshi, use made in India goods, boycott, that means we have to boycott foreign goods, and national education. On basis of that, freedom fighter Savarkar, he was young at that time, he was learning in college, Ferguson College in Pune. He said, first time we are making fire of foreign goods. In our language we call it as Holi, not in English Holi. Okay, so we have to burn foreign goods. But fantastic idea was there. Say, all over Pune, they moved physically. It is not online. They moved physically. They use, that is when person is taken to graveyard or smashan, we are using a device that is called as tirdi. On that, foreign goods were taken. He urged people, throw your foreign goods in this way. And then it was taken to Smashan Ghat, where speeches were given. And then foreign good, whatever the collected, was burnt out. This is innovative concept, but the message went everywhere. Obviously to British government also. And from college, he was rusticated. Again, Lokamanya Tilak and other people, also influenceable people, they asked Ferguson College management, and then management charged 10 rupees fine at that time. By paying that fine, Savarkar rejoined the education. So I explained Dadabhai Nauroji's work along with how the first time in India his work was practically converted. That is by Savarkar. Very unfortunate to say at that time. The question was asked to Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. At that time he was not Mahatma. But he said that by burning this way and making boycott, nothing is going to achieve. Like that something was given by him. Anyway, that is apart. But most important thing, that after this, Savarkar was taken to England. A great person, Pandit Shyamji Krishna Verma. He started out a scholarship that is called as Shivaji Scholarship. Those people wanted to visit, go to England for higher studies. Some amount were borrowed by these people. But obviously you have to pass that exam. So Veer Savarkar passed out that exam, and then he got some amount from this Pandit Shyamji Krishna Verma. Whereas the Pandit Shyamji Krishna Verma, he was having an apartment in England on rental basis, obviously. But Indians, those who want to study, they were going over that house and studying out, staying there. That is named as India House. When Savarkar went there, India House turned into Armed Revolutionary House. His journey started from Mumbai by boat, and he changed the name of organization or broadened the name of organization as Abhinav Bharat. This is most important organization in Indian Armed Revolutionary. That is Abhinav Bharat.